Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're going into the heart of the Americas to track the elusive jaguar. You shared some fascinating articles and research with us, and I can't wait to unpack it all.
Oh, it's a really exciting topic.
It is. It seems like you're particularly interested in how they manage to thrive in such diverse environments.
Yeah, it's a question that has captivated researchers for years.
hmm
How does an animal so powerful and specialized also demonstrate such remarkable adaptability?
Right. It's like they wrote the book on surviving in style. But before we get into all that, let's break down some basics. One thing that really stood out to me from your sources was the sheer power of these animals. I mean, the third largest cat in the world. That's no small feat.
Really impressive, yeah.
And their bite force.
Yeah.
Whoa. Talk about a force
Oh.
of nature.
Yeah, their bite is truly in a league of its own, capable of crushing bone and piercing turtle shells. It's thought that this adaptation is a direct result of their prey in the Americas. Unlike Africa or Asia, where big cats often target the soft underbelly, jaguars evolved to take down heavily armored prey, like caimans and giant armadillos.
Ah, that makes so much sense. I remember reading about how they often go for a kill bite to the skull or back of the neck. That's quite different from other big cats, isn't it? It's almost like they're going for an instant shutdown rather than a drawn-out struggle.
Precisely. That quick, decisive kill minimizes the risk of injury when facing down formidable prey. And speaking of adaptations, their coat patterns are another fascinating detail.
Hmm.
You've probably noticed the distinctive rosettes, but did you know that the open centers are a key way to differentiate them from leopards?
I have to admit, before diving into these sources, I probably would have mixed up a jaguar and a leopard. It seems like they both favored those spotted coats. So those open rosettes are kind of like a jaguar's calling card.
Exactly. It's like nature's own branding system. And then, of course, you have the melanistic jaguars, the ones we often call black panthers, even with their darkened coats. If you look closely, you can sometimes still make out the faint outlines of those rosettes.
Wow. It's amazing how these seemingly small details can reveal so much about an animal's evolutionary journey and ecological niche.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit and talk about their habitat range.
Mm.
One article you shared mentioned how jaguars were once found all the way from the southern U.S. down to Argentina. That's a huge chunk of the Americas. What happened?
You're right. Their historical range was incredibly vast, reflecting their adaptability to different environments. But unfortunately, as you've read, that range has shrunk dramatically in recent decades. Habitat loss, primarily due to deforestation and human encroachment, has pushed them into increasingly isolated pockets throughout Central and South America. So it's not just the shrinking rainforest that's impacting them. It seems like the problem is much broader, with agriculture, development, and all sorts of human activities chipping away at their territory. It makes you wonder how they're managing to hold on in these increasingly fragmented landscapes.
That's where their adaptability truly shines. Jaguars can thrive in a surprising range of habitats, from dense rainforests and swamps to more open grasslands and even arid scrublands.
And they don't shy away from water either, right? That's something that sets them apart from many other big cats.
Absolutely. They're powerful swimmers and often use rivers and waterways to their advantage, both for hunting and for navigating their territory. One study you shared even suggested that they might use rivers as a sort of highway system to move between fragmented forest patches.
That's a fascinating image. I imagine a jaguar paddling down a river like it's on a jungle cruise, keeping a lookout for a tasty snack along the way. Speaking of snacks, what's on the menu for these apex predators? Are they picky eaters, or is it more of a whatever swims, crawls, or flies kind of situation?
Let's just say a jaguar's palate is as diverse as its habitat. They're opportunistic hunters taking down over 85 different species of prey. Fish, reptiles, birds, mammals.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to mix things up.
Wow. It's almost like they're living embodiments of that old saying, variety is the spice of life. But all this talk about their hunting prowess and wide-ranging diet makes their conservation status even more alarming, doesn't it? I mean, if an animal this adaptable is struggling, it really paints a picture of the broader environmental challenges we're facing.
You hit the nail on the head. The jaguar is considered a keystone species. Their presence, or lack thereof, has a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem.
So it's not just about protecting jaguars for their own sake, but for the health and stability of the entire web of life in the Americas.
Exactly. And that brings us to a crucial question. What's being done to protect these incredible creatures? What are some of the strategies and initiatives that stand out from the materials you've gathered?
Well, from what I've read, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. It seems like a multi-pronged approach is essential, addressing habitat loss,
Yeah.
human-wildlife conflict, and the illegal wildlife trade.
Yeah, you've got it. It's a complex web, but many organizations are doing incredible work on the ground. The Jaguar Conservation Fund, for instance, has been instrumental in establishing protected areas within the jaguar's range.
That makes a lot of sense. Creating safe havens where they can thrive undisturbed must be crucial. But I imagine even with protected areas, the issue of habitat fragmentation still poses a challenge.
Right, exactly. That's where the concept of wildlife corridors comes in. Essentially, these are strips of protected land that connect fragmented habitats, allowing jaguars to move freely between them.
So it's like building bridges for them, helping to maintain genetic diversity and ensure healthy populations. I read a study in one of the articles you shared that showed how effective these corridors can be in facilitating jaguar movement. It was fascinating to see the actual data and maps.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable how these initiatives are blending scientific research with practical conservation strategies. And it's not just about creating physical spaces. It's about fostering a sense of stewardship among local communities.
I was really struck by that aspect in the materials I read. It seems like engaging the people who live alongside jaguars is crucial for long-term success.
Absolutely. And that can take many forms, from educational programs that highlight the importance of jaguars to initiatives that promote sustainable farming practices and reduce human-wildlife conflict.
There was a really inspiring story in one of the articles about a community in Belize that completely shifted their perspective on jaguars. They went from fearing them as livestock predators to seeing them as valuable assets for ecotourism.
It's a perfect example of how shifting attitudes can create a win-win situation for both people and jaguars. Ecotourism can generate income for local communities, while providing a sustainable source of funding for conservation efforts.
It seems like there's a growing awareness that protecting jaguars isn't just about altruism, it's about recognizing their ecological and economic value.
Precisely. When people understand the role jaguars play in maintaining healthy ecosystems, they're more likely to support their protection. But of course, we can't forget about the ongoing threat of poaching.
Right. It's heartbreaking to think that these magnificent creatures are still targeted for their skins and other body parts. What are some of the strategies being used to combat this illegal trade?
It's a multifaceted challenge that requires collaboration between governments, conservation organizations, and local communities. Stronger law enforcement and stricter penalties for poachers are essential, as are efforts to disrupt the illegal wildlife trade networks.
One of the reports you shared highlighted the use of technology in anti-poaching efforts, like camera traps and DNA analysis to track and monitor jaguar populations. It seems like these advancements are giving conservationists a real edge.
Absolutely. Technology is playing a crucial role, but it's equally important to address the root causes of poaching, such as poverty and lack of alternative livelihoods.
So it's not just about catching the poachers, but about providing sustainable alternatives that empower communities to protect their natural resources.
It's exactly. By investing in education, healthcare, and economic opportunities, we can create a more sustainable future for both people and jaguars. It's a reminder that conservation isn't just about protecting wildlife. It's about creating a healthier and more equitable world for all.
It's fascinating how all these pieces fit together, from science and technology to community engagement and economic development. It's a truly holistic approach.
And it highlights the importance of recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. The fate of the jaguar is intertwined with the health of the rainforest, the well-being of local communities, and ultimately, the future of our planet.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not just observers, we're active participants in shaping that future.
And with knowledge, passion, and a commitment to action, we can create a future where jaguars continue to roam free, inspiring awe and wonder for generations to come. But it's not just about grand gestures. It's about the choices we make every day.
So what can our listeners do to be part of this movement? What are some concrete actions they can take to make a difference for jaguars?
There are many ways to get involved, from supporting conservation organizations like the Jaguar Conservation Fund or WWF, to spreading awareness by sharing information with friends, family, and online networks.
Even small actions can have a ripple effect, right? Like choosing sustainable products or advocating for responsible environmental policies.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that every choice we make has consequences, and that we all have a role to play in protecting the planet's incredible biodiversity.
Well, after diving into all this information, I'm feeling incredibly inspired by the dedication and passion of the people working to protect jaguars. They're facing a complex challenge, but their efforts are making a real difference.
It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and collaboration. And it all starts with recognizing the value of these magnificent creatures, not just for their ecological role, but for the awe and wonder they inspire in us.
Speaking of awe and wonder, one thing that really struck me in my research was the cultural significance of jaguars throughout the Americas. They've been woven into myths and folklore for centuries, revered as powerful symbols of strength, cunning, and the mysteries of the natural world.
It's a testament to their enduring presence and the profound impact they've had on human imagination, from ancient Mayan civilizations to indigenous tribes across their range. The jaguar has held a place of honor and reverence.
It's fascinating how these stories connect us to the deeper meaning of conservation, reminding us that it's not just about science and data, it's about preserving a part of our shared history and our connection to the wild.
And in doing so, we're safeguarding the incredible biodiversity of the Americas for future generations.
What a powerful thought. It really elevates the conversation beyond just the practicalities of conservation to something much deeper, something that touches on our values and our responsibility as stewards of the planet.
Beautifully said. And it brings us to a final question. What will the jaguar's legacy be? Will future generations look back at our time and see it as a turning point? A time when we chose to protect these magnificent creatures and the ecosystems they represent?
That's a question I think we all need to ponder. It's not just about the jaguar's future, it's about our own.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about the impact of our actions, doesn't it?
Mm.
We often get caught up in the day-to-day, but it's these kind of conversations that remind us of the bigger picture, the legacy we're leaving behind.
Absolutely. And the jaguar, with its rich history and its precarious present, serves as a powerful symbol of that legacy. It's a call to action, a reminder that we have a choice to make.
Yeah, a choice between continuing down a path of destruction and exploitation, or choosing a different path, one that recognizes the intrinsic value of nature and our connection with all living things.
Exactly. And that choice ultimately will determine not only the fate of the jaguar, but also the future of our planet and ourselves.
That's a powerful note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of the jaguar. It's been a real journey of discovery, not just about these incredible creatures, but about the complex challenges and inspiring solutions that surround their conservation.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. And to all of our listeners out there, we hope this deep dive has sparked a sense of wonder and a desire to learn more about this amazing animal, the jaguar, and its place in the intricate web of life.
And if you're feeling inspired to take action, there are so many ways to get involved.
There are, from supporting conservation organizations like the Jaguar Conservation Fund or WWF, to spreading awareness by sharing information with friends, family, and online networks.
Yeah,
Even small actions can have a ripple effect.
absolutely. It's about recognizing that every choice we make has consequences, and that we all have a role to play in protecting the planet's incredible biodiversity.
Well said. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. But before we go, I just want to say how inspired I am by all the people out there working tirelessly to protect jaguars. They're facing an uphill battle for sure, but their efforts are truly making a difference.
They really are. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and collaboration. And it all starts with recognizing the value of these magnificent creatures, not just for their ecological role, but for the awe and wonder they inspire in us.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that's all the time we have for our deep dive today. We'll see you next time.